Big triangle just blurred past Mach 6 over the Pacific. No ID, no transponder, no call sign. Just heat trails and panic inside Chinese air defenses. Captured on January 14, 2026. This sighting is physical proof of a machine that breaks every rule of aircraft design. But the real mystery isn't the Dorito shape. It's the $100 billion black budget hiding it. The thermal leak. When Anders Ottesen pointed his AGM Sidewinder TM5640 thermographic scope at the Nevada sky on January 14, 2026, he wasn't looking for a ghost, but he found one. The TM5640 is a professional-grade tool with a sub-20 millikelvin thermal sensitivity and a 640 by 512 resolution detector. It is designed to pick up heat signatures from over 2,600 yards away, and that night, it captured something that shouldn't exist. In the high-security airspace of Groom Lake, Ottesen recorded a thermal signature that immediately broke the internet. To the untrained eye, it's just a white blob. To a defense analyst, the numbers are terrifying. We immediately ruled out the usual suspects. A B-2 Spirit was confirmed in the area that night, but on thermal, it is unmistakable. A massive 172-foot flying wing, with a jagged double W trailing edge and a sprawling heat plume from its 4 F118 GE100 engines. The Dorito, however, was a different animal. The shape. While the B-2 is a complex W, this craft was a pure, sharp-edged triangle with a flat, trailing edge, a design almost identical to the mystery craft spotted over Wichita in 2014. The signature. Unlike the B-2, which uses a complex exhaust cooling system to mask its heat, the Dorito showed zero thermal bleed across its fuselage. The leading edges remained cold even at what appeared to be high subsonic speeds, suggesting a revolutionary type of skin cooling technology, or a radar-absorbent coating that doubles as a thermal insulator. The flight behavior. The aircraft maintained a rock-solid profile at extreme altitudes, likely exceeding the 50,000-foot ceiling of the B-2 or the RQ-170 Sentinel. It moved with a stability that shouldn't be possible for a pure flying wing, without the vertical stabilizers found on traditional stealth jets. It wasn't just a flight, it was a leak. We're looking at a platform that is low observable, not just to radar, but to the very laws of thermodynamics. If it isn't a B-2 and it isn't an F-117, what the hell is it? Black budget equals black wings. If the thermal leak was the how, the black budget is the why. You don't build a Mach 6 Ghost on a standard balance sheet. In 2026, the Air Force requested a staggering $249 billion budget. But look closer at the fine print. Nearly $40 billion of that is classified or non-discretionary. That is a front cost larger than the entire military budgets of most European nations, hidden under a single line item. The math of secrecy is starting to leak. Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works recently reported a $555 million cost overrun on a highly complex classified project. In the world of defense contracting, you don't lose $500 million on a drawing or a prototype. You lose that kind of money when you are scaling up a secret production line. We've seen this play before. The F-117 Nighthawk flew for 5 years in total secrecy before the public knew it existed. The RQ-170 Sentinel was a beast we didn't know we had until it crashed in Iran. Right now, the Pentagon's latest audit shows over $1.8 billion in advanced aircraft, over budgeting that they literally cannot explain to Congress. Whether it's the next-gen air dominance tech demonstrator or a DARPA-funded hypersonic wedge, the Dorito proves that while the public argues over F-35 maintenance costs, the Air Force has already moved into a new era. The plane in this video might not be public until 2040, but it's operational, it's funded, and it's already owning the night. Physics over stealth. The Mach 6 engine body. While most stealth aircraft look like origami to deflect radar, the Dorito looks like a wedge for one reason: brute force speed. At Mach 6, the air doesn't just flow over an aircraft, it becomes a blunt instrument. When you hit the thermal thicket at 4,600 miles per hour, air molecules reach a stagnation temperature of over 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. At these extremes, the air ionizes, creating a plasma envelope that can block radio signals and melt standard aerospace aluminum. The Dorito shape is the engineering solution to this thermal wall. By using a sharp-edged wedge with a 65-degree sweep angle, the aircraft creates an oblique shock wave that stays tightly attached to the leading edge. This geometry allows for isentropic compression, slowing and compressing air with minimal heat transfer. This keeps internal temperatures below the 1000-degree threshold required for carbon-carbon composite structures to survive. But you don't reach Mach 6 with a standard jet. A normal turbofan like the F-35's F-135 chokes as air enters the intake too fast for compressor blades to handle. To cross the Mach 5 threshold, the Dorito utilizes the holy grail of propulsion, a turbine-based combined cycle engine. The math is insane. This system combines a high-performance turbofan for takeoff with a dual-mode ramjet for the hypersonic sprint. Once the aircraft hits Mach 3.5, internal bypass valves divert air around the turbine and straight into the ramjet burner. This transition is the most classified part of the jet. At these speeds, air pressure inside the intake reaches several tons per square foot. If the inlet geometry isn't perfect, the engine unstarts, creating a shockwave that can rip the airframe apart. This is why the Dorito shape is so critical. The entire underside of the aircraft acts as a compression ramp, pre-compressing the air before it even enters the engine. The plane isn't just carrying an engine. The plane is the engine. Every inch of that triangular body is designed to manage the airflow required to maintain a 4,600 mile-per-hour cruise. You aren't just invisible because of your coating, you're invisible because you're faster than the enemy's electronics. Why China's analysts are nervous. While the US has been testing the Dorito in the Nevada shadows, China has been betting its entire national defense on the Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon. But when you look at the front cost of these two programs, the gap isn't just technical, it's generational. The J-20 is a massive investment for Beijing, with a unit cost estimated at roughly $110 million to $120 million per airframe. While that's comparable to an F-35, the J-20 carries a different set of risks. Look at its silhouette. It still relies on canards and twin vertical tails. In the world of stealth, vertical surfaces are a liability. They act as radar reflectors from the side and rear. This gives the J-20 a radar cross-section that analysts estimate is closer to a clean F-18 than a true 5th-gen ghost like the F-22 or the wingless Dorito. But China isn't just building a plane, they're building a kill chain. The J-20 is designed to carry the PL-15, a long-range air-to-air missile with a 124-mile range, and the even more secretive PL-17, a massive AWACS killer designed to strike support planes from 180 miles away. The Dorito one, however, is a dagger aimed straight at the heart of that system. At Mach 6, this aircraft doesn't just outrun the J-20, it outruns the PL-15 itself. By the time a Chinese KJ-500 AWACS identifies the Dorito, the jet has already bypassed the J-20's patrol zone. You aren't just fighting a faster jet, you're fighting a platform that makes China's billion-dollar early warning network obsolete. The real trick is, we've seen it before. The most chilling part of the January 14th sighting isn't that it's new, it's that it's familiar. If you rewind the tape, you'll realize the Dorito has been haunting the American heartland for over a decade. In March 2014, a nearly identical triangular craft was photographed over Wichita, Kansas, flying in broad daylight alongside a formation of unknown support planes. Just 6 weeks later, it appeared again, 360 miles away over Amarillo, Texas. At the time, the Pentagon dismissed it as a B-2, but the photography showed a flat trailing edge and a cockpit placement that didn't match the 172-foot wingspan of the Spirit. Even as far back as 2021, reports surfaced of a ghost wedge operating out of Osan Air Base in South Korea, performing high-energy maneuvers that were invisible to the local air defense radar networks. For decades, internet lore has called this the TR-3B, a mythical anti-gravity craft. But the thermal footage from Nevada finally strips away the sci-fi. The heat signature Audison capture doesn't show alien tech. It shows a high-output dual-mode exhaust consistent with the next generation of U.S. air dominance. We aren't looking at a myth. We are looking at the evolution of the Black Project pipeline. The U.S. has a history of hiding entire fleets in the black until they are ready to change the world. The F-117 Nighthawk flew for 7 years, nearly 2,500 flight hours, in total secrecy before the public ever knew it existed. The Dorito is simply the latest chapter. It has been appearing over our cities and test ranges for over 12 years, waiting for the technology and the $100 billion budget to catch up to its design. The scariest part of this aircraft isn't how it looks, it's that we saw it. And if we saw this one, how many are flying that we didn't? The front cost of catching up just hit $1 trillion and the bill is officially due. If you like stealth you're not supposed to see, hit subscribe. We've got more coming.